Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, so it's cool to see so many students here. I know there's a lot of adults, but today is centered around students. It's centered about what we want, right? Can I just ask you guys a brief question? What do you guys see when you guys walk out of your houses? Anyone would like to say something?
Cops.
Except for cops. They're everywhere. But what I see is trash, segregation, poverty. A lot of students with their brains washed with Lara said Drake, and he said frozen monkeys, I think, all that stuff. So that's our youth. Sadly, that's what our youth are about now. There's only a handful of students who, if I could actually have a conversation about certain, movements and certain stuff that are going on around the world today. And it sucks because they look at you and they say, oh, well, why do you care? Ethnic studies makes you care. Before I wasn't involved at all in anything, I was one of those people listening to that type of music, doing that type of stuff. And we're still brainwashed to this point. But as soon as I took ethnic studies and I had wonderful teachers like Ron Gochez and Kelly Flores and a lot of other teachers who opened my eyes up to ethnic studies, to the raza, to who we are. When we look around, we're just lost. That's what we are. We're just the generation of lost youth. In the 60s and 70s, students called themselves Chicanos because they weren't American and they weren't Mexican. They didn't know who they were. We still live in that same exact scenario. We don't know who we are. I've always lived by, if you know where you're from, you'll know where you're headed. That's just my whole life right there. Ethnic studies teaches you that. Ethnic studies opens your eyes to the culture, the cultura, how beautiful we are, because we're not just those indios in Mexico. We're not just those people that can't speak proper English. We're not just the workers, the ones that work in the sweatshops and the ones that break their backs in picking fields. We're not just that. We're great mathematicians, astronomers. We created giant pyramids with our own hands. We changed the mind of so many people, and to this point we're still doing it. When we started this whole ethnic studies petition and all this ethnic studies work, it was kind of, it seemed kind of impossible because we looked at what happened in Arizona and the struggle they went through, and we looked at it here and we're like, wow, how are we going to get so many people to do that? And the day the day they passed it, I was one of the speakers inside, so I wasn't outside at all. I didn't know how many people were outside. I had no idea. All I could hear was noise. And as soon as our side started, we were all in there, we all started talking, right? So me and Michelle, we went up there and we started talking about ethnic studies in front of the school board and all that. And as soon as it was passed, not even 2 seconds, 3 seconds later, all you hear is commotion. Commotion outside. That was just a wonderful moment. We all walked outside, everyone was trying to run outside to see what's going on, and you see thousands and thousands of students all around the building just screaming and yelling. It was beautiful because that's what it's about. Ethnic studies is not about, I'm just going to get a book and read it, but it's about taking action. It's about going out into the streets and cleaning them yourselves. It's about appreciating what you have and make it work for everyone. It is to open a book and not only read it, but to take it in your heart and soul and continue going forward and continue, leave the hood. A lot of people tell us go to college and everything's going to be perfect, but they don't tell us how much it costs. They don't tell us how hard it's going to be. They don't tell us that we have, statistically speaking, we're going to fail. They don't tell us that. Ethnic studies tells us that. Don't listen to statistics, because those are not statistics based on us. Not about what we want. Those are statistics that someone else made for us. Those are goals they made for us. Because we set our own future, we set our own goals. And that's why we're here today, to make sure that, okay, they passed it, now implement it. Now make it happen. Now let's see the change. Thank you.